How did you lose your leg?
I have a bone disease, a rare bone disease, very rare bone disease.
And how did that take your leg?
It eats away at, the bone disease eats away at my bones from the inside out and destroys it until the bone breaks.
Okay. So how did the amputation happen? Like, did your bone just break one day?
So my femur initially broke while I was in the Army, and they removed a tumor out of my leg about the size of a grapefruit. And then I was fine from '94 until about 2005 when I was at work walking through a weld shop and my foot broke. Or I went to the doctor and they said I had a bunch of tumors in my tibia. They operated, removed a tumor from my first metatarsal, which is the bone directly behind your big toe. And when they did a bone scan to make sure they got all the tumor, there was several tumors in my tibia that were causing me severe bone pain. So they decided to operate. It would be my second operation, 2005 or 2006, somewhere around there. They decided to go in and try to remove all of the tumors that were growing, causing me so much pain. So they removed the tumors and the tumors came right back. So then they went in the following year, operated again, and put a rod in my leg to support the bone, because now they have removed so much bone from the inside that it made the tibia weaker.
So when was your amputation?
So my amputation was, we're gonna jump forward 5 years or so. I've now had 6 surgeries trying to control these tumors. I weighed 500 pounds at the time. Hooked on pain medication. Not just using it as my pain management, but somewhere along the line, I became, if you want to call it, addicted to it.
Okay, so what is the name of your bone disease?
I have what is called McCune-Albright Syndrome. Discovered in the 20s by Dr. McCune-Albright. There is no cure. It is genetic. Everybody has my bone disease. It just usually lies dormant in the human body. And it usually also doesn't affect people until when puberty starts, and it goes away by the time puberty ends.
So, like, is there a way, like a medicine you can take to get rid of it, or
No,
something you can do?
It is definitely uncurable. No medications.
Like that will just get rid of it?
Yeah, at least as of right now, there's no way to stop it. It just kind of happens.
Is there anything that starts, like, the tumors growing or something?
No, it's just up in human DNA, I guess.
So, except for like injury and so on.
Except for injury, puberty starting.
So what does your bone disease do to your body?
So my bone disease pretty much takes solid bone and jellifies it, we'll just call that a word, and turns it from the inside out, turns it to like a jelly, where it makes the bone weaker and weaker until there is no more strength that held up, and then the bone breaks.
Okay. Is it only in one spot of your body? Like now that your leg's gone, is it gone?
No, it is in the left side of my body. I have tumors in my face, my ribs, my arm, and no longer, almost fell, and no longer in my lower leg, obviously, because, well, there's no leg there. I thought I was holding on to you.
Does it hurt to walk on your prosthetic leg?
Sometimes.
How does it hurt? Like at the end?
Yeah, at the end, in the back where I have creases from my scars, it'll ache inside of there. Sometimes it'll ache on the very end of the stump if I'm not very swollen that day, or like less water retention.
Mm-hmm.
And my leg will slide down further into the socket where the bone is almost resting on the end of the heart across the socket.
Okay. So how does your leg work?
It is computerized. There is an axis inside of it that knows when it should bend, and when I go over that axis, the leg swings freely. When I am above it, okay, I can't do it while I'm sitting, but it will actually hold and stay where it's at to a point. I mean, it will still slowly bend, but once I get past that axis, it knows to go into swing mode, and then when I go to bring my foot forward, it automatically swings back out and the process starts over. This hose is for suction. I have a union valve right here. You press on the union valve and it will let the air in or out so that the socket is held on with suction. Inside of the foot, there is a pump. As my foot flexes, it triggers the pump and it constantly draws air out of my socket, holding it on.
Cool. So there's a computer in there?
In here someplace there is.
Wow. Will it do my taxes?
I wish it would do mine.
I already do yours.
Yeah, it's true.
So do you sleep with that on?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, definitely not. I take it off. So if you look at it, it is carbon fiber. Under the carbon fiber, I have a liner on. That liner is kind of like wetsuit material in a sense. It's actually partially how it helps keep it on all the time. There's some ribs on it. There's ribs. These ribs hold on to the suction on the inside of the leg. But it doesn't breathe. So the leg has to breathe every once in a while. So I don't wear it at nighttime. So I don't cause more damage to my skin that's already caused.
Oh. What are you doing right now?
I'm releasing the air pressure so my leg stays on. Now it stays on. It doesn't fall off.
But how are you able to take it off so easily?
So when I sit down every once in a while, I will, the way I sit, it releases the pressure inside of my leg, and so I was able to slide it off.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't release the pressure, I just have to push this button right here, and that releases the pressure on it itself. Right there.
That's cool. Do you use more energy when you're moving?
Yes, I use more energy than you two-leggers do. So a below knee amputee uses about 50% more energy than a able-bodied two-legger. Above knee uses roughly about 100 to 125% is what we looked up last time on energy use. So I use about 125% more energy than you do. Now, why am I so fat still? If I use up that much energy, I like cookies. Simple as that.
So you said below knee and above knee. What is that? What does that mean?
So a below knee. So if you look here, I do not actually on this leg have a kneecap. So this particular leg acts as my knee, the access to bend my leg. A below knee amputee is someone that still has the knee joint, but they're amputated below the knee, which still gives them the access to be able to go like this. I pick up my leg and it just kind of sits there.